Hi everyone, it's good to be here. Perhaps not so good for you, having to listen to me again. Okay, I'd like to start with a little poem, if I may. Being something of a railway enthusiast for as long as I can remember, it was perhaps inevitable I should write some sort of railway-related thing. Merthyr Station is no shell of itself because way back in the day, back in pre-grouping days in railway terms, Merthyr was served by several different companies and serving destinations north, south, east and west. You could go in any direction. You please, not just south to Cardiff. The line to the north was the Brecon-Merthyr Railway. And there was a driver on that line who became quite famous, or perhaps I should say infamous. So this little piece is just a little commemoration and a celebration of that particular driver known as Hellfire Jack. Of all the mad drivers with which Wales was blessed, one stood head and shoulders above all the rest. Like old Casey Jones of American fame, his too was to be an immortalized name. A star of the footplate, the czar of the tracks, a living Welsh legend was Hellfire Jack. So many could be the tales told about Jack, from head to foot, suited in soot, funeral black. When guards blew their whistle to go, he would beam and off he would speed in a huge cloud of steam. In Merthyr our Jack was the toast of the town. In Brecon, however, they called him a clown. Old Hellfire Jack was a nerve-trying fellow, whose driving distinguished the brave from the yellow. When signals were red, he swore loudly and spat, and in his frustration would dance on his cap. But when they showed green, his eyes gleamed with delight. His fireman's lips, though, would quiver with fright. His engine was red, like the Dragon of Wales, and chain smoked its way both up hills and down dales. He terrified mountain sheep mowing down strays, and B&M platelayers wise to his ways. Down tools in a jiffy and scrambled well clear whenever our Hellfire Jack's train drew near. At Ponsticket's Junction, the beacons ahead, he took up the challenge to fill folks with dread. Through Torpantai Tunnel he'd race like a rabbit, the carriage lights turned off, for such was his habit. The acid test came, and the stoutest heart sank when Jack went flat out down the 7-mile bank. His passengers thought for a cert they would crash. In front of their eyes their whole lifetime would flash. At Talabont station he'd water his steed, as everyone breathed again, thankful indeed they'd made it this far, and weren't dead up the line, all vowing there never would be a next time. A reckless old devil was Hellfire Jack, and nobody knew how he'd not got the sack. He stayed on the rails, though, miraculously, and when we were boys, we all wanted to be a brass-buttoned railwayman driving like Jack, a red locomotive to Brecon and back. Thank you.